Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and talk to you guys about the RV show, like I told you I would. I'm going to try to keep it as quiet as I can. My son is sleeping, so here goes. We went last week. It was fun. Again, we didn't go to buy anything. We just kind of went to kind of have something to do. But it was actually very informative because while we were there, we really started to compare brands. We started to see, like, how much those brands, cost. And one of the brands that we love is Brinkley. And I thought that Brinkley would be well over $100,000. Sell price, not MSRP, but sell price. And I learned that only certain models are, that some models are cheaper than that by a good margin. So I'm like, oh, okay, so maybe eventually getting a Brinkley is not a bad idea. Brinkley is the only brand new camper I would buy due to the fact that I've heard a lot of good things about their customer service and their build quality is really good. They're the only camper I'd buy brand new. All the other ones, no. But it gave us a good idea because, we're sitting here, we're going through all these different campers, and we're like, for this price, we could get a Brinkley. And it's got better quality, like build quality. So, yeah, and then we looked at Class C campers because that's kind of what they put up front at first. So what they would do is that, we walk through, the fairground area, the main, exhibition hall, and then you would see some campers, and then as you went on, you would see, a different dealer would have all their Class Cs in one spot and their Class As. So, we kind of looked at Class Cs, we're like, hey, why not? Let's. But what I noticed was this. I noticed that the Class C campers, some of them were the same price as a fifth wheel. Now, if I were to get a Class C or Class A, I would not get a gas. And the reason for it is because they struggle a little bit when it comes to driving through the mountains. So for me, I would get a diesel pusher, and naturally the diesel pushers are quite a bit more money. I didn't even bother looking at them because I knew they were going to be well over $100,000, well over that mark, regardless of how, small. Did not matter. So I didn't even bother looking at that. But I was looking and I'm like, if I were not wanting to have the freedom of going, everywhere, I would get a Class C gas. But I really want to be able to kind of go wherever I want and not feel like it's struggling to get up the mountain. So that, and it's one of those things where it's we got our truck to pull a camper, so it's it only makes sense to actually get the camper. So we found a lot of nice fifth wheels. They even, believe it or not, I did not know they still made these. They actually made the Trailmaner. There was actually a dealer that actually had a brand new Trailmaner. I thought they went out of business years ago. But no. So if you don't know what a Trailmaner is, it is, it's collapsible. So it's a pop-up, but it's a hard shell pop-up. And they had them brand new. And again, I did not even know they made them anymore. So there was a guy there, the salesman, and he was doing a demonstration on how do you collapse it and everything. And I'm like, that's pretty impressive. I didn't look at the price because it's kind of okay, it's a nice camper, but it's not, what we're looking for. So, but it was still really nice just to see. I even looked inside of it and it was really nice. And the collapsing it down to nothing took 2 minutes. And I'm if I was looking for a camper that I didn't want a canvas, a canvas pop-up, I wanted a hard shell pop-up type thing, and I wanted something that, I don't know, an Explorer could easily pull, I would definitely look at the Trailmaner. Again, I had no idea they were making these. I thought they'd quit years ago. But they still make them. Who knew? There was some Airstreams there. I already know about Airstreams, so I was kind of like, yeah, they're nice, so we didn't really look at them too much. But again, we got a lot of good ideas. There was one camper there, I kid you not, I'm not making this up. It was a 3-bedroom camper. It was so nice. So it had like a Jack and Jill bathroom in the back, and it had bunk bedrooms on each side of it. So like if you're seriously full-timing with kids, this was like the perfect camper. And I can't even remember the name of it, but it was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. I want to say it was an open range, but I could be wrong. But I found that fascinating. I told my husband, I was like, you know what? If we were going to do this like for years, and we were going to have like, we knew for a fact we're going to have more than just our son, I would definitely buy this camper. Again, it's brand new. You could probably try to find them used, because I don't know if that particular model was new with the 3-bedroom, 2-bath. I don't know. I just know that they offered it, but it was really impressive. I was like, oh my God, this thing is nice, like really nice. So yeah, that one like really stuck out to me. And again, they had other fifth wheels there that were cheaper, like in the $40,000-$50,000 range. And again, it kind of came down to brand new, and it's like, build quality's not there. I'd rather pay more and get the Brinkley. But again, we're not even there. We just now got the puck system put on our truck this weekend. So we just have to find our camper. We did, however, find a dealer outside of Ocala that sells consignment campers. And we went last weekend and we looked at those, and we found one that we really liked. We're going to go back, I think, probably the next couple of weeks when we get some more time. And we're going to really look at all the ones they had there. But it was really nice because they gave us a paper. We got there. All the salesmen were busy. So it's like, whatever. But the lady was like, oh, all of them are open. So here's a paper. You'll find all like the details, the year, the model, and the price. And we're like, oh, nice. And she goes, yeah, just start walking. She goes, over there's the Class A and Class C's. Over here's our fifth wheels, and over there we got our travel trailers. And we're like, nice. We literally went around this like consignment place, and we looked at campers on our own without any pressure at all. The camper that my husband's been eyeing for a long time was still there. It was in really good condition. But it's going to need some serious shampooing because the previous owner has a dog, and it smelled like dog. So if we bought that one, we would have to like deep clean the carpet. There's only carpet in the bedroom and on a slide out, and they have like a couch. So obviously that would also have to be like deep cleaned as well, because the moment you open the door, you smell the dog. Other than that, the camper was in pristine condition. There was one small soft spot by the front door, which is not really uncommon on campers. That was the only soft spot I saw or felt. There was nothing on the walls that showed there was any leaking anywhere, but it checks all the boxes, so we might go back and get that one. We're still really debating. There's still a lot of factors going on right now. Whether we want to pay cash, whether we might want to finance and get something that we really want, that kind of thing. Because we did learn that for financing, banks will not finance if it's under $10,000. They want to finance an RV that's over $10,000. So we're like, okay, so we can kind of up our budget a little bit, see what we can find, that kind of thing. But they do have like other cheaper campers there at that dealer, and we need to go back and really kind of look at those. We didn't get a lot of time because my son was getting fussy, and we're like, we need to get out of here. Anyone that has got a kid, you know how it is. When they get fussy, time's over. We got to go. So he was trying to get fussy. So we're like, yeah, let's go ahead and go. We looked at some. Let's go ahead and go. There was one that I really liked, but the door was warped. So when you opened, you had to like pull that thing open. And then to shut it, you had to like slam it shut, like all the way down it, because it was warped. I don't know how that happened, but it was warped. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, that's not going to be a cheap little fix. but I love the layout of it, but I'm like, not that much. But it was like a little bit kind of on the cheaper end of what we were like, kind of like our finance budget if we did finance. But again, I'm like, how much is this going to cost to fix? I'm thinking no. But other than that, that's like the update on the RV life so far. Again, there's a lot of different variables going on that we're trying to figure out right now. Hopefully in the next few weeks we'll have it figured out. But yeah, that's all I've got on that with the RV show and possibly finding our next camper. Possibly. Again, it checks all the boxes. So yeah, and it's still there. According to the website, it's still there. So no one's bought it yet. And it's a Grand Design Momentum. So, and that's really kind of the toy hauler that we wanted, was a Momentum. So we had a Keystone Carbon before. We wouldn't mind under the Keystone, but we really kind of want a Momentum this time. But I mean, if the deal was right and there was like a Keystone Raptor or, you know, Infusion, I think it is a Keystone Infusion or whatever. If there was one of those, we'd be all over that too. But they have a Keystone, but it's like way more than we want to spend. And this one's like, yeah, this one's like at a really good price for what it is. So we're like, yeah, this one might be the one to get. Toy haulers tend to be on the more expensive side because the generators that they have and, you know, the garage space is a big thing, but they also offer boondocking lifestyle because of the way they're designed with the, you know, the size tanks and the generator. So toy haulers tend to be more than your normal camper, usually, depending. And not every toy hauler has a generator. So if you're looking for a toy hauler, make sure it has a generator because some of them don't. Some of the smaller bumper pulls, like the cheaper bumper pulls, will not have a generator. So make sure that if you want a generator, you make sure that it has one because not everyone comes with one. So, yeah. But I'll keep you guys posted and let you guys know what happens. So, yeah. But I'll see you guys next week. Have a great rest of your weekend.